Now, before you start using SageMaker Studio, you will need to set up a SageMaker domain, similar to what you see here on the screen. You'll also need to set up a user profile. So what I'm going to do is launch Studio from the right-hand side. So here is SageMaker Studio. This is the integrated development environment experience. And if I scroll down and click on Jupyter Lab, you'll see that I have a couple of options. I want to go to Gen AI demos, and then I want to click Open. This will land me into a Jupyter notebook. A Jupyter notebook allows me to write Python code and Markdown in a structured manner that is repeatable. So let's run each section of this Python code. So the first cell we're running, that initiates the Bedrock client. Fairly straightforward. We'll then move down to the next block of code. This is where we set up our JSON request payload. So I want it to explain wave-particle duality to 8th graders. What a question, eh? And so I want to feed that in my prompt. So I'm building up a request payload with the prompt and some parameters as well. We run that piece of code. We're now invoking the model. So this is where I'm going to use the invoke model API call. And I feed in the body, the model ID, and the input and output file types. I'm going to use the Claude 2.1 model. JSON input and outputs. Run that cell. And let's see what magic it can produce. Here is how I would explain wave-particle duality to 8th graders. Wave and particles are two different things that we're used to in our everyday lives. Waves are oscillation that carry energy, like waves in the ocean. You can see it's done a really good job of explaining that in simple terms to 8th graders. So that concludes this demo. Let's now move on to SageMaker Jumpstart.